Hi guys, I'm Braden from Red's Cold-Blooded Critters, and as you would have seen from the thumbnail, we're building a reptile room. Alright. Basically, this series from start to finish is going to be a big series. Building the enclosures, building the racks, putting the enclosures in, right the way through to customizing each enclosure, showing you guys how I do the fake backgrounds, because I got a lot of feedback on that. If you've followed along with my YouTube or my Instagram or my TikTok and that sort of stuff, there was a series that I did there for a little bit, just talking about the backgrounds and how I did it. So we're going to be doing that all on this channel from start to finish. Once the enclosures are all done, we'll start putting the reptiles in sort of one by one, and then we'll talk a little bit about the reptiles and what I plan to do with them and that sort of stuff. So I've got a few little geckos, a few little monitors and that sort of stuff. So it'll be nice and interesting. Today, as you would have probably seen from behind me, I've got two of the Repti 1 1200 by 600 by 900 enclosures, so we're going to build them, and then I've got my two racks that I plan on setting up and putting some smaller enclosures on them for the geckos and so forth. So there'll be a bit of a time lapse of that. Stay tuned. Once I've done that, then I'll sort of talk a little bit about the future and what I plan on doing with the enclosures, and what sort of is going on them and the process behind it and that sort of stuff. So if you're into all that sort of stuff, stay tuned. I know you guys hear it all the time, but like and subscribe if you want to see a bit more. And yeah, let's get started on it. Room is done so far. Both the racks are in, both enclosures are in. As you would have seen from the time lapse, I'm no builder, I'm no professional with flat packs, so that was a learning curve to say the least. Okay, for about 20 minutes there I thought I had two of the exact same sides and it was all muddled up, but we got there in the end. The racks are in. As you would have seen, I had to measure it up with the tape measure a few times just to make sure that I got the height's right. I don't want to be doing it over and over and not changing the racks as I go. So trying to get it right the first time is key. What I haven't shown you guys is prior to me actually building it all, I did knock up some plans. I drew up roughly what I wanted, how many enclosures I wanted, and that gave me a good idea of what size racks I actually wanted, because I don't want to be buying it and chopping and changing as I go. So I want to get it right the first time. Again, same thing, rough plan of what species and that sort of stuff and what I've got already and what I want to go into it. So that's done for now. The enclosures are in. Again, I still have two more of these on the way. They'll just sit directly on top. There is a slight bit of overlap with the racks and the enclosures, but when you actually approach the enclosures, the angle of that overlap it gets smaller and smaller. So you won't actually notice it once they're built and they're all done up. It is very boring, it is very plain right now, but I've got big plans with it to finish it off, and yeah, so it's a good start. It did take some time. It's taken me about half of the day to sort of get around between my home life and then having to do this sort of stuff on the side, so it's done. And yeah, so within the next couple of weeks we'll get the next 2 enclosures, and then we'll start filling these racks up, and then we'll start with the backgrounds and hopefully getting in some bioactive plants and setting up them enclosures, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully in the next episode you can sort of see this room built up a bit more and it'll look good from there. So yeah, stay tuned.